Hello everyone, and thanks for joining us for another Lilypad Network AMA. My name is Steve Kuchin, and I'm joined here today also by Tao Sheng. Hello, Tao Sheng.
Hello. Can you hear me? Steve?
Yes. We didn't get to do spoilers, disclaimer. We didn't get to do sound checks before because we've been crazy busy working on all the things which we're going to talk about today. So yes, can hear you.
I can listen. I can hear me. I'm hearing the background music.
Oh, really? Oh, see, okay, you shouldn't now. There's a
Yes,
bug.
yes.
There's a bug. Oh, I wish StreamYard had a bug. So we're using StreamYard to do these sessions on, or do these live streams from, and for some reason, I don't know, maybe it's just my Chrome, but when I hit play on the music section, it'll play the music for about, I don't know, 3 seconds, and then I can't hear it anymore. So thanks for that. I actually didn't know it was still playing, or that you could hear it. So that's actually good to know because I couldn't, I could not hear it. But yeah, thank you for joining us. For all those that are joining us for the first time, welcome in, and for all those that are returning viewers to the stream, this is the Lilypad fortnightly AMA or bi-weekly AMA. This is your chance to ask any questions, concerns, emojis via the chat, which you should have on whatever platform you're on, be it LinkedIn, YouTube. Actually, I don't think LinkedIn does. So if you are on there and you want to comment, jump on Twitter stream, which is currently running now, and or YouTube as well, depending where you want to chat to us. But we're live on all three, all at the same time through the magic of StreamYard. And yeah, this is your chance to ask any questions or concerns or geek outs. Well, it's essentially a geek out session is the way I like to think of this. And we've got a whole host of topics and things to talk about. I have a whole bunch of different windows with a whole bunch of things we want to chat about. However, you can interrupt us, and please do, because that is the point of this session. So put any questions, comments, or emojis into the chat. Emojis are totally welcome because we do love being asked things with a little character. Yay, thanks, Em. Yay, music. To signify me not being able to hear the music, but it was still playing. Anyway, yeah, we're just going to keep talking until you ask a question, and then we'll probably stop and we'll stop and investigate that a little further. Until then, we've been busy preparing for all the things. Well, I'm going to say it. Mainnet. It's time. It's time. Well, lately, so Lilypad's been running a bit of an incentivized testnet, and you can investigate that. Actually, I have a link to this. You can find out more about. Oh, there we go. Find out more about that. That's a link I prepared earlier. You can find more out about that at lilypad.tech/incentive.net. And so that talks about how you can get incentivized, how things like slashing works, which we're going to talk about in a little while. We have a bit of an update on that one. And you can basically get an idea on how you can get involved in the Lilypad project. And we'd be very excited to have you involved. On that note, and something we promote quite frequently and highly recommend, if you're not yet part of our Discord, we have over 3,500, nearly 4, I believe. There we go, there's the link. We have nearly 4,000 people in our Discord, and it is a growing, thriving community. People just wanting to connect, people wanting to share some ideas about what AI modules or what job modules you want to run on network, or maybe you would like to see. There's all sorts of chatter going in there. In fact, we've had some amazing feedback, which has helped shape and govern the whole network, which has been phenomenal because, well, like all good open source projects, that's the one thing we totally count on. Just a side note, for those of you tuning in from or may have seen our back episodes on YouTube or any of our social media or places that we have our social media videos, you might be noticing my background's a little different today. Now, I was hoping to set up at a spot just a little bit further away from where I am now, but it looked like rain and I didn't want to get caught out in it. But I am off grid, so hence why my hair keeps changing color. I just had someone messaging me and go, "Your hair's changing color." So I have, move the camera a bit. There we go. I have a new shelf LED light where I'm currently sitting, which I've got in color strobe mode. So if you notice my hair changing color, I mean, it's kind of a cool effect. It's a bit of an accident, but that is why. just in case anyone's wondering. Anyway, there we go. It's completely unrelated to anything we're about to talk about. Other than my hair will be probably changing color, but that is why. So there we go. Anyway, have a whole bunch of stuff to cover. So let's jump straight in, unless there's anybody. People are now in the chat talking about my hair color. Anyway, helps hide all the grays. Yeah, that's the secret. So, gonna start off by talking about Pondside Chats. The second episode of Pondside Chats is next week. I'll drop the link into the chat shortly. In case you missed the last episode, let me get that Discord thing off the bottom of the screen. There we go. In case you missed the first episode, we were talking to the amazing Dapper Dan, who shared an entire wealth of information, just talking through his journey as a developer and some of the things he was building out, and even mentioned my favorite tech movie of all time, The Pirates of Silicon Valley, which I hope everyone has had a chance to watch. I don't know what platforms are streaming it in whatever region that you're currently in, but I hope you did find it, and I hope you're able to watch it because it is an amazing movie. Anyone in my opinion, anyone in tech, and actually they say this in the actual movie because there's some very, very iconic scenes that shaped the tech industry as we know it today. So anyway, highly recommended. If I could show it on here, I would, but I can't. Licensing reasons, but worth checking out. Anyway, likewise, you can also check out the video recording from the first Pondside chat. I'm going to drop it into the chat now. Hopefully that drops in everywhere, but you can also visit lilypad.team/pond1 for the first episode of that. Now, our second one is coming up next week, so that will vary depending what time zone you're in. For me, it's 5 to 6 p.m. on GMT plus 10 because I'm based in Australia. Next Thursday. Now that will vary a little bit. It is recorded, so if that is a really odd time for your time zone, you don't have to tune in then. You can watch it later on. But it is with the amazing Ida Tweets, who Dapper Dan nominated, whichever it is, nominated as our next speaker. So really looking forward to talking to Ida. Now you can, I'm just working out the best way for questions, but we would love to hear your questions for Ida. So maybe at us on whatever social platform that you're connecting with us on, or tune if you can't tune in. So otherwise, yeah, tune in and drop your questions into the chat. Like a bit like now, questions, comments, or emojis into the chat. You can do the same thing on socials. So if you had a particular question you wanted to ask Ida, maybe favorite development tool or her go-to debugging tool or something along those lines, then make sure you social it to us. You can also follow Ida on Twitter or X, depending what you want to call it, at Ida Tweets _ is her link. Speaking of Twitter or X, we also have I'm going to say tomorrow. Now, this is for my tomorrow in my region, but it's about 20 something hours away. But we do also have, unrelated, a Twitter space happening tomorrow I just said it. Happening in about 20 hours on that link there, or through our Twitter or X as well, and be able to register for it. But this week, we're talking about building a thriving ecosystem, which again, we've got nearly 4,000 people in our Discord, which is amazing, and just love seeing everyone connect, interact, and share ideas, share thoughts, and comment on some of the things that are helping shape the Lilypad network. So totally worth checking out. Going to stop there. Just going to check comments. If you've just joined us, welcome. This is the bi-weekly Lilypad Network AMA, or Ask Me Anything. So you're here with Steve Kuchin and Tao Sheng from the core team. We'd be happy to answer any questions that you have, or that you even just want to comment, or even some emojis. But if not, we've got a whole raft of for those on YouTube, you should see a link for the Twitter space or the Twitter X space. No, I'm not going to try and create a whole new word for Twitter. It's got enough words to describe it. But yeah, you should now see that link in the chat. But if not, you can also jump on our Lilypad _tech account on Twitter and be able to get to that as well. Anyway, if you have a question, please drop it in the chat. Otherwise, we're going to keep talking, and we have a lot to talk about, as I keep saying. For those of you that entered the meme competition, it has closed. We did get a couple last minute late entries that were snuck in. And there's going to be a poll on Twitter in the next day or so. Next 20 hours, probably before or after the Twitter space. But I can show you the shortlist. So these are the ones that you will be voting on. Now, they're pretty good. And there are a lot of really good entries, so well done. Thank you for everyone that submitted. It was great to see. Well, it's always great to see memes and meme culture. I think it's just fascinating seeing what people come up with. So, but these are the final three. These are the submissions you will be voting on. Now, of course, we've got Pepe the Frog in this one. I wonder if I can make that a bit bigger. Oh, I can. Oh, it's getting a little granulated, but it's fine. You can see a bit better. Anyway, this is the first one of the finalists. Pepe sleeping. Idea for an app, sits upright. We've all been here. Now, I've woken up at 3 a.m. with an idea for an app or building out some type of smart house thing at very weird hours. And it just has to get out. And I've got to put it somewhere before I can go back to sleep or build it. But I know as soon as I start coding at that time of the morning, like I'm probably going to be up for like the rest of the day. So anyway, Pepe wakes up, idea for an AI app, realizes it needs GPU and goes back to sleep crying. Oh, disappoint. I mean, this is why we're building the network so that Pepe could, at 3 in the morning, start to build that app using Lilypad. So yeah, just makes the resource available. One of the other ones, classic SpongeBob meme. I love SpongeBob. Like, just SpongeBob's cool. And the memes, I always love seeing the memes that come out. So excited. Anyway, first panel, requesting a cloud provider GPU. And it's got old reliable there. There's always that one place you go, like maybe it's a cloud, maybe be hard up trying to find a GPU, which we did cover in a couple previous episodes. So if you missed that, check out our back catalog because, well, we talk about that. Oh, and see, rug pull. You click all the things, you set up the instance, you go to get the GPU, and there's no GPU to be had. You literally you hit the button, it's like, yes, I am going to spend all that money on that GPU. And you hit the button, and then you get this red alert that comes up the top going, GPU is not available. And you've got to go through all those steps again, like 84 times across every region. But I'm just speaking from experience and frustration for this happening because it's happened a few times. Anyway, I get this meme. I feel this meme. Anyway, these are really top. These are hard to beat finalists. And our final one is actually a video. Spoilers. It's classic Mr. Bean. It does have sound, but it's actually from the original movie, or show. I'm not gonna put the sound on. Also, you won't be able to hear it. I haven't routed sound through, but I think many of you may know this episode. So other computing networks, decentralized computing, Mr. Bean sitting there, buffering. Blockchain integration, other networks have that too. Oh, where's it keep? I should have downloaded it. Lilypad network. It's also got decentralized computing network. Other networks pulls out a small pencil, which is going to be computing resources marketplace. Lilypad network also pulls out, and Mr. Bean also pulls out a longer pencil. Yep, puts it down. High performance computing. These are all features being added to each one's repertoire. Oh, they're looking smug. He's looking smug. Oh, I don't know why it keeps. I should have downloaded it. Oh, support for diverse applications on the Lilypad network side. Oh, other networks is looking a bit forlorn. Oh, what was it? We had incentivized testnet, which of course we just talked about, but we're going to talk about it again. We've got some updates on that one. Decentralized compute for AI. Oh, the pens keep coming. I remember this scene. It was great. Classic Mr. Bean. Oh, what's coming up now? Predictive analysis, seamless integration, zero knowledge proofs, enhanced federated learning all come out and get put on the desk on the Lilypad side. And then there's a bag. What was in the bag? Maybe it's our roadmap. That was our roadmap of new mainnet launch items, which we've been working on. I might say this. There's some very interesting stuff in there. No spoilers. Maybe we get Developer Alley on to talk about that once that's finalized. But anyway, that was our meme. That's our meme finalists. I applaud everyone that entered, and thank you for those submissions. It was really tough internally. We did a bit of a vote, and we got down to like the finalists, and now that will be as a voting I almost said voting mechanism. A vote that'll be put to the vote on Twitter, not Twitter Spaces, on Twitter and or X in the next very soon, next day or so. So stay tuned for that one because you can help choose which one of those. It's going to be tough. I'm telling you, it's going to be tough. I really want to pick one of these, but I mean, it's in your hands. So make sure you vote. Keep an eye out for that as well because worth checking out. Oh, October. How is it October already? Just saying what everyone's thinking. Anyway, before we go into this, if you've just joined us, welcome to the bi-weekly APAC AMA. In between the episodes of these we run, there's a North American version, or I should say a Northern Hemisphere version of this show as well, run by some of the DevRel team. So Alex and co, Alex and Phil, and sometimes Logan. I think Logan's, yeah, sometimes Logan. Anyway, bunch of different guests, bunch of different time zones. So if that one works out better for you, then check out that one. If you're watching this recording, then which if you're asleep right now, you probably are watching the other one. But this APAC one runs every 2 weeks, so every alternate week to the North American. Or the North American one runs alternate to this one, whichever way you want to look at it. This is the APAC AMA for the Lilypad network. And if you have any questions, please interrupt us. Just drop it into the chat, and we'll get to it through the show. I was going to talk a bit about Hacktoberfest because we're part of it. We've entered, so it's going to talk a bit about that, which would be a great segue to open source. Before we do that, I feel like I've been hogging all the microphones. So, Kasheng, do you have anything you want to add? You wanted to talk about? Which was your favorite meme? Which one did you like the best?
I think the last video, I like it very much.
The video. Yeah, that one. I love that one. When I first saw it, I literally, I laughed. Literally laughed out loud.
Yes, it's true.
Anyway, no, I was just curious because I was trying to pick which one of the three I kind of liked, and I can't choose. So I'm glad I'm not choosing. I'm glad I'm actually happy that it'll be crowdsourced through community because it would be tough to try and choose a first, second, and third place in that. So there we go. Anyway, how are you going? Did you have anything you wanted to chat about before we move on to the Hacktoberfest?
For me?
Yeah.
No. Currently,
okay.
no.
Okay. No, I was just checking. Okay. Very good. Well, of course, Hacktoberfest is coming up. And I literally can't believe, well, it should be October pretty much everywhere on the planet. I say that as somebody who is in a future time zone of GMT plus 10, based in Queensland, Australia. So we don't get daylight savings, which is interesting because it's on the same coast as 2 other states that do have daylight savings, which sometimes makes things a little confusing. Anyway, it's now October everywhere, and there's only 3 months left of the year. Can you believe it went that fast? I cannot, because it's been a busy year. But so Hacktoberfest is upon us, and of course that means everyone will be contributing to all sorts of different open source repositories, which is amazing because as somebody who, well, I always consider myself a student of open source because you can never know everything, and well, as community comes together, you learn and share and grow together as a community, as the project grows out, which is of course what it's all about. And so Hacktoberfest is a way to, well, celebrate that and also focus on certain issues or things that may arise in different open source repositories, different projects, and well, I don't really want to say incentivize, but encourage people to contribute. Because again, like it's open source, it's free, everyone can contribute, everyone can learn, everyone grows together. And so October is the month that GitHub started a number of years ago. the month that everyone's encouraged to contribute to their favorite projects or just a project in general. So there's a Discord that they have running. This is their website, oktoberfest.com, for those that haven't seen it before. And so we've added Lilypad to the Oktoberfest activities for this year. So there's a few issues that have been tagged with Oktoberfest. There we go, with Oktoberfest tags. And so if you contribute to them, they count towards contributing to the overall months of activities. So if you're looking to get involved and you're looking for issues that you want to contribute to on the Lilypad network project, then this is the repository you're looking for. Now, if there's something there that you think should be there that isn't, we'd love to hear from you as well. So again, join our Discord, lilypad.team/Discord, and tell us if there's an issue you think should be raised, or you can raise the issue and just say in the description like you want this added to the Hacktoberfest tag, and then we can add that and make sure it's covered as well, because we want to make sure that everyone's recognized as part of that. There's a few issues that have been tagged only so far. There's some really complex ones that are still in that list, as you can probably, let me make that a bit bigger. Oops, I made the wrong window bigger. That was not helpful. There we go. There we go. Yeah, if there's an issue you think should be here that isn't tagged, then please let us know. Join the Discord or reach out on our socials, and we'll get that sorted out. And then yeah, there is a bunch of really, really complex ones here that are in our well, resolution list, pending resolution list. The other thing, oh, actually, that one I think is now solved or very close to solve. Oh, we need a whole episode on this. We've added open telemetry to our deployment, which is amazing. For those that aren't familiar with what open telemetry is, big fan. Think of it like supercharged logging. So if you think like a distributed or decentralized application, like the Lilypad network, being able to trace all the different moving components or moving parts of the like a job going through the network is somewhat tricky, given that it is decentralized. You need that centralized point to be able to send a whole bunch of information as a job goes through the different components of the network. And so open telemetry is the industry standard way to trace through a decentralized deployment, to trace an application through its end-to-end run. So from invocation on the user side right through to resource provider, and even some of the other bits of our network interacting with that job. So Solver, for example, being able to trace the logs all the way through its life cycle is extremely invaluable, just because any number of things, as you can imagine, any number of things through that trace path, any number of things can go wrong. And when Murphy's Law is involved, and for anyone that's been deploying apps for, well, like any amount of time, Murphy's Law rears its head when you really don't want it to. Like there is literally just going to be like one misconfiguration or one tiny little thing that'll stop that entire flow from going through, or that from that job running. And so being able to identify that maybe it's a different version of a library or a misconfiguration, or even just an error down to the code level, is really tricky. So being able to see that is like super, super helpful, because it's literally trying to look for, without it, is literally trying to look for a needle in a haystack while you can't see the haystack, essentially. So open telemetry, there's it's actually part of the CNCF. Usually used to have that in, there we go. So if you haven't seen it before, you want to learn more, opentelemetry.io is the URL, is the website you're looking for. It's extremely open source, like the very open source project. Actually, if you're looking for Hacktoberfest things to contribute to, this is also a highly recommended project, or one of my favorites at least anyway. So be worth checking out. They've got a whole bunch of videos and stuff that explain how it works more, and how you can find out how you get involved. I think they're part of Hacktoberfest. If not, they should be. And maybe that's what you can contribute. Or can you contribute Hacktoberfest? If you raise an issue and get it tagged with a Hacktoberfest, then you can use that to make, like, that can be a contribution. It's totally meta. But anyway, you know what I mean. Anyway, not going to talk more about OpenTelemetry, but we have added it, and we're able to now see more nuances into our network, which is great. Anyway, those issues are the only ones we've tagged so far. Again, if you something you think should be raised, then please raise an issue and mention that you want to get it added, and then we'll, we can get that tag added there. Or join us on Discord, lilypad.team/discord, and we can chat more there. On that note, one thing I was going to talk about a little bit, and this is super new. Actually, it's something we've talked about in back catalog in past episodes, was the incentivization of open source contributions to the Lilypad project. And so we've only got a couple people on here at the moment because we're still rolling out the program. And anyone that watches all the AMAs each week will also know that, would have seen the North American crew talking about the open source program that's currently being rolled out. And also something we've raised on both shows is just how to incentivize that. Like, we want to do it in a very fair and transparent way to make sure that everyone that's contributing is recognized. But essentially, this is the rewarding of points based on contribution to the project, be it directly through code contributions, documentation, like video. There's a few people that are actually on this list that would have been seen through the Discord, for example, like Rodden, I always get this wrong, Roddenbreck. Hello, if you're watching, and welcome back. Who's made some pretty substantial contributions. And for anyone that has contributed, thank you for what you've added to the project, and thank you for taking the time to add some stuff. Roddenbreck is one of those folks, and so we've added them to the board as well. We don't yet. We're still working out the point side of it. So again, if you've got any ideas on how that should work, or you want to help contribute to that as well, again, we're trying to make it as fair and as transparent as possible. So anyway, oss.lilypad.tech is where the leaderboard will live. I believe actually it's not yet open source. We haven't yet moved that into our web UI, which I'm going to talk about in a moment as well. Well, maybe not in a moment, soon. Incidentally, just a quick note: if you have just joined us, this is the Lilypad bi-weekly AMA. I'm Steve Kuchin. I'm joined here by Tao Shan from the Lilypad team. If you have any questions or any comments or emojis, we accept them all. Sometimes it all in the one comment. If you wanted to do that, please drop it into the chat on whatever platform you're on, or at social us wherever you are connecting through to us right now, be it on LinkedIn, on YouTube, or on Twitter, or X as it's sometimes called. Yeah, please keep those questions coming. Feel free to interrupt us. Yeah, we've got stuff to talk about, but we don't have to if you've got something else you want to talk about. So this is the open source dashboard for the Lilypad project contributions. There's only a few people on at the moment, and you can see the contributions they're making because, well, like all open source projects, you can literally go to the issues and see what they've contributed and what they've been working on. Roddenbreck, one of the things Roddenbreck contributed recently was this idea around a community Discord bot. And the whole idea around it was to help monitor and identify when the proof of work isn't triggered when it should be triggered. And again, this is where OpenTelemetry comes into play. We've had some bugs that have arisen, and we've helped been helping mitigate that with the help of the community and some of the tools that they've developed for us to be able to better manage and monitor those sort of situations arising. So Roddenbreck was able to help with the community bot, and well, this is the repo for it. It's publicly available. Actually, we should add Oktoberfest to this. I'm going to do it right now. There we go. I'm going to add that one. Oktoberfest accepted. Ta-da! And that's it. It's now added. Well, it will be once it gets indexed, of course. Anyway, don't think there's any open issues at the moment, but if there's something that you think you can check out the code at github.com/lilypad hyphen, not underscore. Let me start again. github.com/lilypad tech is our GitHub. I almost said Discord. Is our GitHub, and you can have a look through all our repositories. We have a lot of them. Most prominent, obviously the Lilypad core network project, and then we have some supporting repositories in there, like the community bots project, which is what we're looking at here. Essentially, what it does is monitor. Is there a screenshot? No, don't have a screenshot. Mental note, I'll add a screenshot. But there's a Discord channel set up in our Discord, lilypad.team/Discord, if you want to join that and have a look, where we get alerted when the proof of work statements appear on chain every hour, and then also during the hour periodically as well. So this is the job that runs to validate that the resource provider GPU added to network is able to handle the capacity that we think it should be, almost like a bit of a test, to make sure that when jobs come through from the containerized jobs come through to be able to be processed on network, that when that resource provider gets sent a job, it's able to run the job as expected, basically. So it creates almost like that benchmark against the resource being provided, so that the network is able to determine that things can run in as they should, and also helps add to helps run the incentivization piece. Again, if you wanted to, let me get that link, learn more about the incentivized testnet, I just closed the wrong window. There we go. Then this is the article you're looking for, lilypad.tech/incentivenet, to find out more about that. So yeah, this has been kind of handy, because we've been able to get more alerts when things go awry. And lately we have had some issues with RPC availability. We used a lot of RPC. As somebody watching the graph daily go, like our usage go like up a lot. I think I may have mentioned it in the past couple episodes as well. Past couple of live streams. Yeah, we've literally there's been times where I've just been refreshing a window, watching it go like up, which used a fair bit of resource. And that is literally because, let me open the dashboard. We've had a lot more nodes join the network than, there we go, 781. Speaking of, we literally just redeployed some more stuff to, there's some bits that may not load at the minute. Maybe it will. There's some bits, oh, it did load. There you go. We've just redeployed to the dashboard too to fix some identified issues with the leaderboard, which I believe are now fixed in node status. But you can see here, we've currently got 781 nodes online, which creates a lot of traffic through the network and uses a lot of RPC. I know, because literally we've been watching the graph. Just amazing to see, and thank you for everyone that's been providing resource to the network. So thank you. To make sure we're connecting that correctly, we've made some changes recently to the RPC, which also then had flow-on effects with the POW. Anyway, it's been a work in progress, and I think we finally got, fingers crossed, I think we finally got some stuff sorted out there. So anyway, again, if you've got comments or feedback on this, please open an issue on any of our repositories, or lilypad.team/Discord is to join our Discord and have a chat through, folks. Tao Sheng, did you want to add anything to that? I know you've been contributing a lot to this. Well, I've seen you in a lot of conversations about a lot of threads about this internally over the past number of weeks. So yeah, I know it's been a long time in coming, the fixes for a lot of this stuff. And yeah, thank you for your contributions too.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, yeah, I like this part very much. What you introduced for the OSS Lilypad.tech. I am not sure. Did you put into the screen about the link? I think this one is very important for the developers.
Oh, I didn't. Let me add that. If anyone looking for the info dashboard, it's info.lilypad.tech, and the other domain, I'm just adding a banner for. There we go. Hey,
yes,
oss.lilypad.tech.
Yes,
Or
I think, yeah, I think this leaderboard should be promote more, for example, Twitter, LinkedIn, to let more engineers to get involved into the Lilypad open source. As the last month, there is a blog about Lilypad launches an open source initiative about open source as a part of incentive net. It's the same with the GPU provider or resource provider as part of the incentive net. We should highlight, yes. Now we have a leaderboard. We can encourage more and more engineers to get involved.
no,
It's
that's a
very,
really good point.
yeah.
Yeah. I actually forgot that we had this blog post. Thank you for reminding me. If you things move so fast these days. If you want to read more about that, blog.lilypad.tech, and yeah, you can see all our past blog posts, including Lilypad launches open source initiative. So that talks through how contributing works, how to get involved. Actually, this fits in very nicely to Hacktoberfest because that is pretty much that this is basically how you do it, how you get involved. The other thing is, I don't think this talks about, or maybe it does a call to action on the Lily bits as well. So, but again, if you've got any ideas about the incentivization, we want to make sure we're helping encourage really good contributions to the project from the open source point of view, and but in a way that we can help incentivize with Lily bits for as part of the incentivization incentivized testnet phase of our current deployment. So if you have any thoughts on that, then please let us know. We'd love to hear them. But yeah, this is a really good place to start with contributing, and also some places that you can, there we go, some ways to contribute, including we're looking for the Windows version of the resource provider app, which currently it's Linux based, so or Nix based, which obviously is a little tricky for Windows folks to run. So we have got a Windows resource provider deployment, but it does need some work. So this is where we're hoping to encourage. Ooh, actually, I should add Oktoberfest to that too. I'm going to do it because I can. This is where, oh, there we go. This is where we're looking for those contributions. Nothing like doing Oktoberfest submissions live on a live stream, right? This still counts. There we go. I've now added as well. So yeah, if you want to find out more anyway, check out blog.lilypad.tech, and you can read more about how to contribute, how to get involved. There's multiple ways, not only writing the writing of the code side, but also documentation, videos, like anyway, read more about that. Even more just getting involved with the community and helping organize and guide and shape the future of the network. So, but find out more, blog.lilypad.tech. Or you can also check out the Hacktoberfest website if you're wanting to contribute to that. Maybe there's someone giving away t-shirts, stickers, or something as part of that contributions. I know that is what happened in past years, a variety of companies and whatnot giving stuff away. So check out more on that. Oh, I just realized I've still got a link on the screen. Ta-da. What was next? Oh yeah, speaking of contributions, we have a new website coming. Oh, I actually intended to have this running. Where's my terminal gone for this? I think I might be in my other window. I was actually intending to have that running and do a bit of a sneak peek, but it is, oops, I've gone too far. It is also a publicly available a publicly available repository. I'm also going to tag this with Hacktoberfest, which, there we go. Wait, did I spell that right? No, Hackatober. Yeah, there we go. As well. I don't know if I'm supposed to add that accepted one, but we're going to do it anyway because that's how we roll. Disrupt it, yo. Anyway, now I've added that one as well. So this is our public repository for the web UI. This is for the info dashboard, which was this site here, also known as the leaderboard. That's part of this mono repo, and also our new website, which is also part of this repo. Also counts as candidates for the Hacktoberfest, especially now that I've added 2 tags for it. But our new website is in there. We are currently working on to get it deployed out. So as part of talks about some of the use cases for Lilypad, some of the things you can do with it, similar to some of the pages in our docs, but in a little bit more detail. Anyway, not going to show you that this week, but it is in there. So if you are familiar with front-end code, in particular, PNPM, such a tongue twister. Say that 3 times fast. Node, Doppler, Bun.js, which I've been a fan for Bun.js for a little while now. Well, it's only been out a little while, but I've been a fan since it first emerged, and how quickly it can handle stuff. And then on the front end, we're using Next.js, Tailwind, and Untitled UI. I was just thinking about the SEO applications for something called Untitled UI. Anyway, I can't. So there we go. But yeah, you can, all the instructions in there on how to build and get everything up and running. So yeah, if you wanted to check that out, and maybe it's something you can contribute to as well, maybe you're a front end dev, or you just want to have a look through the UX, then please check it out. Again, raise an issue if you can, or see if you can answer one of the issues on there. We can get that tagged for Oktoberfest in case you're looking to get your submissions up. That also counts. What else have I got? I am PC. Before we get into that, just a quick shout out. If you have joined the Lilypad network bi-weekly APAC AMA, there's another version of this live stream which happens in a 12-hour difference window every other week. So it's more geared towards the other hemispheres time zone. So it's like a northern hemispheres one. Well, it is a northern hemispheres live stream, not like it actually is. And it's definitely not east or west hemispheres because they don't exist yet. But anyway, thank you for joining us. If you do have a question, comment, or emoji you want to share, please drop it into the chat as we're going. Otherwise, me and Tao Sheng are just going to keep talking about all the things we've got planned. And we've still got more stuff planned. So if you don't have anything, it's fine. If you haven't yet, please join us on Discord. We have a growing community of nearly 4,000 folks, all connecting, talking about module building. So building heavy compute containerized workloads to run on the Lilypad network. We have resource providers providing GPU into the network. And then we have a whole bunch of people in between all that, just looking to connect and contribute to different open source projects, get involved, or add to, or become part of the incentive net, which is the current phase Lilypad is in. Essentially, this phase is all about building and squashing those bugs and understanding how the network runs at scale before we go to like big scale, which is coming very soon. There is a roadmap coming too. I'm not going to talk about this one, but it is coming. I promise. I know this because we've been working on it. Anyway, stay tuned for that. It's a whole other episode in its own right. Actually, it will probably get its own episode when that comes out because we'll be talking about it. Actually, probably many episodes after that. Yeah, if you do have a question, comment, please interrupt us, disrupt us, whichever it may be, because that's what we're here about and that's what we do. Until then, these are the Lilypad docs. If you're unfamiliar or you're just getting started with Lilypad, this is the place you want to be. Let me go to the home. Docs.lilypad.tech is the URL you're looking for. It talks about the project, what we're building, why we're building it, and there's a whole bunch of fun videos, including our very own CEO, Alison Hett, also known as Developer Ali, in video talking about a year ago, talking about verifiable compute and the Lilypad project, essentially. Oh, see, one of the best use cases. I love IoT things. I have a whole house full of them again. And I'm not going to talk about that this episode, although I can actually have some plans to hook that up to Lilypad, but we're not going to talk about that today. There's any number of ways that you can use Lilypad to run a multiple of different AI-centric or heavy compute jobs, be it analyzing data sets, looking for trends in data, or building out. Actually, one of the most impressive uses I ever saw was at a hackathon too. Was ETH Global Sydney. One of the teams there built out a as part of their level game flow for a game. They built Lilypad as part of the workflow for the actual game to be able to build out a module that would produce level map data and then essentially run the game with a random AI generated data set, which I thought was kind of fun because they built it into the workflow so that every time there was someone hit play or interacted with the game, it was able to generate a level set using Lilypad and then bring that into the game and run the game, which I thought was kind of fun. Also, they didn't have to worry about GPU because, well, Lilypad already we have that attached to the network. We have over 700 of them, in fact, connected right now. So anyway, these are the docs you're looking for if you're looking to get started. It talks through if you're looking to use create a module or run a module. It has the CLI for you to be able to do that and get up and running. So you can just in command line just type a couple lines or a line and be able to run a job, get it run on network, etc. There's a quick start on getting started with that as well. If you've got a GPU and you want to join the incentivized testnet and be able to share that into network as a resource provider, there's ways to get started with that too, including the hardware that you're going to, well, the ideal hardware you would be looking to use. Actually, one question we get asked a lot, and there is an episode in our back catalog for this, is how to run the node deployment or how to deploy to a cloud provider. It's important to note that we don't recommend that. One main reason for that is cost. There is very few ways, and I would love someone to prove us wrong. There is very few ways to run this in a cloud VM environment without it costing a lot of money. And I say that as somebody that's there was an instance we spun up. There's been a few where it does cost quite a fair amount of money to be able to run per month. So I think the smallest instance on one of the clouds was about $300 to $400 a month, which if you're running a lot of jobs, I mean, it might get close, but I don't know if you'll be able to cover that, which is kind of the reason why one of the things that Lilypad as a network, as an open source project helps. Well, that's one of the main issues we solve is around that GPU availability and getting fair and transparent access to those resources to be able to run those jobs. Anyway, this is everything you need to get up and running, up and started. You can run the Linux version. There we go, which you might need to know a little bit of DevOpsy stuff to be able to get up and running, but all the commands you need to know to get running are all on here, and you can get everything up and running, including a troubleshooting section, which is a whole bunch of different questions we've seen come up in the Discord and also through our GitHub issues being raised and whatnot as well. So if you have got a deployment or you are about to attempt a deployment and you get a really weird error message, check out the troubleshooting section first, or you can also join us on Discord as well, because we have a FAQ, I need help channel where there's every conceivable possible question I think anyone has ever asked is available to be searched. This is kind of a short list of that, just quite common issues we've seen arise or things we've identified through people asking similar questions. So like maybe it's a different version of a library or something, but that's all in here as well. So you can get up and running super, super quickly. The one thing I was going to talk about in here, and I touched on it lightly, let me just get back to the link I was on. Nope, too far. There we go. One thing we did want to chat about quickly is currently as part of incentivized testnet, there's a slashing phase that happens if, and this is to encourage resource providers to be able to stay on network for as long as they possibly can. Now, we understand that there's times where resource providers are going to, if they're running servers, going to need a small amount of downtime to be able to update things on their server. Maybe it's a restart needed to new libraries to kick in, or they just want to refresh, clear out memory or whatever. Outside of that, there's, and this section talks in more detail, also the incentivize. Where's that link? That link there. Also has more information on how this works and why it's in place. But essentially, it's to encourage maximum uptime for the resource providers in a fair and equitable way across all the people sharing resources into the network. So read more about that on the link below, or at this page in our docs. Currently, that is off. That mechanism has been switched off temporarily based on some feedback from community. We're currently retooling that. Actually, we're almost done retooling that from what I've been following internally. And that will be switched back on with some variations on it too. So there'll be a new blog post and an update to our existing documentation to cover what's changed, why it's changed, and well, how it works, so that everyone understands and knows how that is now going to work. But it also talks about it in these docs as well. So again, if you are running or adding resource to the network, please join us on Discord. We do want that feedback. Like, as an open source project, we want that feedback to come back in so we can, well, help refine it together. And from the community engagement we've had so far, there's been a lot of discussion around the best approach, the fairest approach to be able to do that in a way that still encourages people to contribute. So anyway, join us on Discord if you want to chat more about that one, or if you have more thoughts on it, or if you want to add to the conversation. There's a few threads running on it already. So anyway, just wanted to chat about that one. We don't have much longer left, so if there is anyone that has a question or a comment that they wanted to drop into the chat, I think that's actually, it's actually most of the things we were going to talk about today. If you do have a question, we don't have much longer left for this live stream. So if you do have a question, please drop it into the chat on whatever platform you're on, or you can, again, also join us on Discord if you wanted to, geek out with some other like-minded folks. Please do. Oh, I feel like I've been talking for hours. Tao Sheng, did you have anything you wanted to add, wanted to chat about?
Yeah. Yes, about the rewards, as the API issues, we backfill some points, reward points to the community, and the community got some. I got some feedback from community is their points is suddenly increased. Yeah, it suddenly increased. So we can give a short introduce about we backfill some points for the past 1 month of as the API issues or some other issues.
No, that's a good point. So a lot of this came about from essentially we had so much traffic going through the network that our RPC provider, and we ended up having two of them, got slammed a lot. Like we literally blew their request per second like right out of the water and then some. So there's been some very well, there's been a lot of emergency calls and Telegram chats going on around this. With and shout out to the RPC providers that were helping us mitigate that as much as they could on from their end. So for that, we used a lot of, we're going through a lot of logs to be able to identify and then reward backfill for anyone that may have missed POWs going in. So proof of works needed to come in at specific times. The problem being when it's okay if you only have a couple of hundred nodes doing it, but when you have over 700 or sometimes 1,000 all calling home at the same time with the one RPC URL, that was getting a little bit tricky. Or the same RPC endpoint, that became a little bit tricky because, well, the RPC provider couldn't handle that much traffic all in one go. So we've been working pretty closely to try and get this in check and fix it, which we're pretty close. We think we've almost got this. Well, we have got it sorted out. One of the things I wanted to highlight here is that we're now asking for the RPCs themselves as part of the deployment to try and set their own RPC, which you can do with a Alchemy free account. You can set it up. You don't have to pay anything. It's free to use, which is more than enough. The allowance on it is more than enough on that individual instance to be able to send through. We'll have enough requests per second for it to send what it needs to send when it needs to send it, as opposed to everyone trying to use the one endpoint all at once, all at the same time, and try and slam everything through. To add to that as well, what we've done, actually, I think I talked about this in the last live stream, is we've also got a RPC rotation. So using some public endpoints and some other, well, it's all public endpoints. If one isn't set, then it will try and send through those. Being a public RPC, it's probably going to be having a lot of traffic through it anyway, so it may not be overly successful. But we're trying to put what we need to in place to make sure that those resource provider deployments can phone home when they need to, and like talk to on-chain when they need to do whatever it is they need to do. Well, in most cases, it's submitting the proof of work. So to compensate for that, because we did have some proof of work downtime, we have added backfill points, which again, we've had quite a lengthy discussion, a multiple of lengthy discussions with the amazing community inside Discord. And again, thank you if you've been part of that, and thank you to everyone that's helped contribute to it as that has played out as well. So I think that answered it. Taosheng, do you have anything more to add? Anything I missed?
No. Another point is I wanted to highlight is running about Lilypad nodes to remember to use the backup version 1.3.2.
Yeah,
the last I wanted to highlight. Yeah,
that is a good note. There's a way to check that too. I saw it in run a node where you can probably just do backup -- version. There we go. Yeah, we have a whole note for that.
Yeah, because the community have met problems. It's running about Lilypad nodes. Please remember to use this right version of the backup.
Also, well, actually, to add to that, if anyone wants to submit to Hacktoberfest and they want to get 1.4.2 working, please feel free to open an issue and contribute the code, fork the code, and update it. But yeah, we are currently on version 1.3.2. We are scoping to look to see to update I think 1.4.1 might be the latest version, I believe, 1.4.2, which does have some, I don't want to say breaking changes, but it's going to be breaking changes. There's some new stuff in there too that we would love to use at some point. But anyway, if you can get that working, please submit it as a Hacktoberfest, and we will update that accordingly. Oh, we're pretty much out of time. And there's a commenting. Oh, hello, Sam. I think that's all we have time for. Oh, we covered everything again. I thought it was going to be way too much to cover. Anyway, I think that's it. I think we've reached the end of another show. If you did have any questions, comments, or emojis and you couldn't get them in, please join us on Discord. So lilypad.team/Discord. I will bring, there we go. Just found it. That is the link you're looking for. Oh, I can stop sharing screen, I guess. There we go. And if you just want to come and geek out and chat to us, then please, that is the link you're looking for as well. So I think that's it for another show. Thank you all for joining us. Taosheng, you want to say some final words?
Thank you very much. Please contribute to the open source project, Lilypad. Thank you.
Thank you. Or you know what? I'm going to take that to the next level. I'm going to be like, thank you in advance for contributing to the project. Oh wait, Jedi mind trick. Thank you in advance, Jedi mind trick. Not the droid you're looking for, but it is the project you're looking for. So yeah, please contribute where you can. Doesn't have to be code. Always up for documentation, or just geeking out. Join us on Discord. Oh, I think I'm going to play the rock version of the Lilypad song today for our closing off. Until next time, next live stream, we'll see you there. And thanks for joining.
Drop the bass, feel the surge, jump into the future, it's time to emerge. Lilypad Network, we're here to stay, taking you on a journey in a groundbreaking way. We're the frogs in the